For multi-legged roofs, such as the L shape, the U shape, and the peripheral roof, the same logic can be used to create all three types. The only difference is that the L shape would consist of two separate roofs, the U shape would consist of three, and the peripheral one would consist of four separate roofs. Let us start with the L shaped roof first. We select the Architecture tab and click on the roof icon in the toolbar, and we enter the roof sketcher mode in which we can define the boundary path of the overall roof. However, if we make the roof in the normal fashion, that is, using the line tools, and then select apply to save the changes, you can see that there is a slight mismatch of the roof pitches. To avoid this, we tend to create these two roofs separately. And this is what we shall do for the other two types as well. So we delete this roof and we click on architecture, select roof, and this time instead of creating the overall L shape, we create one side first. Whenever we are creating a side like this, the diagonal side or the ridgeline between the two roofs will be the defining edge of this particular roof's boundary, which means I will be creating one diagonal line while the rest will be straight. And this diagonal line shall subtend 90 degrees and will act as an invisible face. In the left hand panel, we set the slope angle to be 90 degrees and the roof edge visibility to be invisible. The remaining edges will be kept as visible and we can subtend it to whatever angle we like. Let's say I'm leaving it at 30 now. Then I select apply to save the change, and then I proceed to do the same with the other side of the roof. Once again, I define all the edges of this side with the joining line being diagonal. I press escape, subtend the diagonal edge to be 90 degrees with an invisible face, while I keep the pitch of the rest of the sides to be 30 degrees. Now, when I select apply, this roof has been created. This is how one can make an L-shaped roof. The same logic can now be applied to create the U-shaped roof and the peripheral roof. For the U-shaped roof, I once again go to the Architecture tab and select Roof. And this time I will create three separate roofs to make up the overall U-shaped roof. I define the joining lines to be diagonal. Press escape. In the left hand panel, I subtend them to 90 degrees and keep them invisible. I select apply. Now you can see that the joining line has been converted into the roof joints. Now I create the remaining sides. As you can see, the U-shaped roof has now been created. Lastly, the same logic can be used to make the peripheral roof, whereas this time the diagonal edges will now be 4 because we'll be having 4 separate roofs. Going to floor plan once more, I will quickly make all 4 sides of the roof. As you can see, now even the peripheral roof has been formed, allowing for a courtyard to be made in the middle.